Okay. I've had to restart another live stream. Hopefully we're back. I can see Engen. Hello. Hello, Wim. Can you hear me? Are we lagging? I don't know. I don't know if I'm live or what's going on. Yes, we're back. No lag. I was just making a post in the DWCP chat, so hopefully a few people will come back. Everything's good. I'm glad to hear it. What have you been up to, Wim? Are you back at work? What's going on with you? Are you gearing up for the season? Are you excited? I suppose it's only a few months away before you can snowboard on a real mountain. I guess. Hopefully a few people that were here before will come back. We'll see how we go. What are you up to at the moment? Are you gaming? Are you at work? You're probably not at work. It's the weekend. First trip in October. Awesome. Oh, I think I heard you talk about that last week. You going to Austria, Hintertux. Is that right? Yeah, Rob Fowler, we're back. Yeah, I think I have a feeling that the setup that I was using was a little bit flawed to start with, because the stream is kind of working through. I'm Bad Rider says he's back-ish. We're all back-ish because we had a massive lag issue. I think it's because when I started the stream, I was streaming because my phone is being, I guess, the camera for the stream, which is then streaming into YouTube. Because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, I've got to do this weird back end thing to use my phone to do it. But but in any case, I'm pretty sure when I started streaming, I was on my mobile cellular data instead of hooked into my my home Wi-Fi. Yeah, I think that kind of messed it up, and I partway through the stream tried to switch to the other. Anyway, we don't need to know what's happening behind the curtain, I guess. Engen says that he just woke up and that he needed the sleep. Yeah, sometimes you just need to have a good nap, I think. So, what time is it over there? Where's my world clock? Says what? Oh, it's like in the mid-afternoon. 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Is that right? Yeah, we are back. So we've I know we probably actually, when we lagged and when the stream cut out, we were at about the hour mark. So I'm gonna give time. I'll see if anyone else joins, but I'll probably finish the last couple of thoughts I had, or if anyone brings up 3 p.m. Yeah. Or 3:05 it says my world clock if I look at it. But I'll finish a few of my thoughts. I'll probably actually I'll call it now. I'll go till at least 11:30 my time. So it's 11:05 right now. That'll be another 25 minutes. And then I'll knock it on the head. And because of all of the time difference, like it's like really super early in the morning in America. So the American people can't or won't join, or they might. You never know, because it's where is it in America? It's like where in New York. It's in the morning right now, so there might even be some Americans join at some point in the next like 25 minutes. But what I'll probably do is after the stream, I'll probably go to bed, and then I'll probably do another stream tomorrow at some point. So I think that's what I want to do is instead of doing like a stream every week, I want to do at least one stream, maybe 2 streams every 2 weeks. I think that works well for me. Anyway, so we've got some chat going on here. Bad Riders, he says that he hasn't had an issue. Very good. I think it was LH Cool Breeze that was asking that question, who I don't think is in here anymore, but I think we lost him with the last stream. But yeah, he hasn't had an issue with ice on his step-ons. In fact, response on them has been pretty good. Yeah, I hear that's the feedback that I get too. Engen says that he's going to Austria and going to Hintertux. That's going to be awesome. I hear that, I know Casey Willax always used to go in October, so that must be like season opening time for them. I imagine it's pretty high altitude there. Bad Riders. As for his incident, a drunk guy threw up on him and was complaining about having his wallet taken. Oh my God. Dear, oh dear. Well, that's gross. Is that the kind of thing that happens often? Oh, I don't know. If I worked in that kind of environment, I'd want to be... I'm guessing you didn't have a second set of... Maybe you did have a second set of clothes that you could change into. I hope that you did. If not, then surely you could like put like a set of scrubs on or something. I think Engen, I think he's saying, I think Bad Riders is saying that he hasn't had any problems with ice. I was saying that I had some problems with ice build up on the ladders of my Malavita bindings, but I don't know if Adam's saying that he had problems with the step-ons. And we've got Catman Snow back, and he's saying that he fixed his board. What was wrong with your board? And by the way, congratulations! You can bet at the moment we've got almost more mods in the we've got as many mods in the chat as what we have other people. I don't want it to become like L Stacker chat where everyone is a mod, but I'm happy with my mod selections at this point. Engen saying that it's too early to go lower from December. Most slopes are opening. Yeah. It's you can't. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, you're saying that too early to go anywhere else. Basically, it's because that in Austria it's so higher altitude. That's where the snow is because it's so early in the season. That makes sense. Adam Bad Riders says that nowhere in the rear clip the snow just melts out. Oh, okay, yeah. Well, as long as it's secure, as long as you hear that click, it should be all good, yeah. If you don't hear the click where that rear cleat goes in, then you're not locked in. You're all good. Oh yeah, Engen says that he misread that post. Yeah, he's saying he's seen some rust on his edges. Dude, if you can get them on eBay, and I'm pretty sure they're like, I don't know what it would be in euro, but they're not expensive. Just get a gummy stone. It's just this like abrasive rubber. Rust comes straight off. It doesn't it doesn't it doesn't take hardly any material off your edges. They're really good to have. Yeah, Engine saying what I just said. Use a gummy stone to remove the rust. If you don't ride for 3 weeks, rub your edges with wax. Yeah, that's a really good idea. You could just like rub it on. I always, and this is what I was saying to Kerry before, when I'm like putting a storage wax on, or when I'm waxing even in general, I always just make sure that I iron some wax onto the edges. And it's not an issue when you go on snow, to be honest. I either scrape it off with the scraper when I'm getting the board ready to go, or if I'm a bit lazy and there's still a little bit of wax on the edge, you know what? It's going to just come off straight away when you're on the snow anyway. Yeah, he's saying he didn't have, so Catman saying he didn't have a gummy stone, so he's used sandpaper. Yeah. Sandpaper is an interesting solution. So I got my gummy stone. I'm just thinking it's probably not far away from me now. Actually, I can show you my one. Because I've got my my kit here, and literally all of my snowboarding kit. Where is it? My demon scraper, my brushes, my snowboard tool, my wax remover or base cleaner, my file, which I basically don't use on my snowboard ever at all. I actually use this hard file to keep my scraper sharp. So after a while, after you've been using your scraper, get the wax off, it becomes less and less effective, and it becomes more and more difficult to scrape the wax off your snowboard. So if you just run your plastic scraper across your file, it sharpens the edges of it again and makes it way easier. So there's a little pro tip for you that you didn't ask for, but you got anyway. Here we go. Everything except what I want. I use these little like plastic containers for everything. So in here, I've got a couple of like mini, like diamond stones. You see, this is the one that I've been using because it's all like nailed up. And gummy stone. I got this sucker. Here it is, and you can see that you can see where I've used it, where it's all like worn, and it's literally just like it's a little bit spongy, it almost feels like a foam rubber, but it's also got, like you can see, it's got a little bit of I don't know, glisten to it. But yeah, I just got this sucker off eBay. If you type in like ski gummy stone, or like ski edge something or other, this will come up. And literally I don't know if you've got eBay in Sweden, but I assume you would. Like this was like $10 in terms of Australian money. Scatman Snow says he's already used the sandpaper. So the problem with sandpaper is that it's going to rough your edges up. So it's not going to create a smoother finish. And or your edge is going to be causing more friction than what you want and not grabbing as much. Bad Riders has got like a face there for using sandpaper. It's all good, man. Like you can like you use what you've got at hand. But we're just we're trying to help out. Catman Man says thanks for the pro tip. Literally, if you've got eBay, you can't buy online. Fair enough. The local, he says he's going to try his local store. But if you, that's literally just one of these. That's all you need. And it will like blast the rust straight off. Yeah, that's true. Engen's saying that it's better to use your edge sharpener. So I actually, in my original setup with my tuning kit, I got one of those edging guides or edging sharpener things. I've never used it. I always do my edging freehand. I'm not going for a racing tune, so it doesn't need to be 100% the exact angle that you want to get at. And I try to get flat, maybe a little bit, but yeah, I've never used that edging tool. But that edging tool has a pretty aggressive file. At least the one that I got sent. I don't even know where that is actually. I might have thrown it away. Although I don't throw anything away, so it's probably here somewhere in a drawer. And Jen says it's better to use. Yeah, I just said that. Adam Bad Riders wants to know what wax Chuck is using at the moment. That's a good question. What was the last wax I used? Actually, I used the last of, I think the last. I don't know. I'm going to put this stuff away. The easiest way for me to answer that question is to literally go into the bag. And find the wax. I'm pretty sure I've got it here. No? Or maybe I don't have it here. Nope. That's all lift passes. Right. It'll be up here. Oh. I don't know. I think at the moment I'm using Swiss wax. Or Swix wax. The blue one, whatever that is. Engen says, one ball J-Wax for the win. I've not ever heard of that one. Catman says, okay, Engen, gotta know, gotta buy an edge tool. Yeah, they can be useful. And Adam's asking Engen, does anyone in the 303 crew use racing wax? From what I hear, those guys go fast, so maybe they are. Engen's like bringing me to school and wondering why I go freehand and not using an edging tool. I don't know. It's because the file that goes inside the edging tool was really aggressive, and I didn't want to take too much material off the base, so I just used the little ones, and it does the job. It's smooth, and I don't have a problem. He's telling me that I need to use an edge tool and run over the contact points with the gummy stone. Oh, for less aggressive tuning. Yeah. I know. The way that I do it is exactly the way that I copied it from Nev Lapwood from Snowboard Addiction. Our goal is to improve your riding. Yeah, it was a video that Nev did once, and he just freehanded it. And I know you want like a 1 or 2 degree bevel, and I just kind of just like go straight along the edge, and then just try and slightly tilt it over, just a tiny little bit. Not enough to round it, just enough to give a little bit of an angle. But I keep it almost 90 degree to the base. I'm sure if you put the micrometer on it, it wouldn't be 100%. But I don't have a need to have it exact. Bad Riders is saying that he also missed the reply about the Ray-Bans. Can you reiterate if you're disappointed if I bought a pair? I don't know if there was an original comment that I missed, at least not a public one. I know on another chat forum, I've made my opinions very clear on that particular product. No, yes, yeah. So I'm responding to NGen. He's saying that we don't use, Rob Fowler, good night, and everyone he's saying, so good night, Rob. Thank you for hanging in for so long. I'm probably going to wrap this up in 10 minutes anyway, but no, have a good night. Go shredding. Hope to see some more clips of you two riding your Evolve boards, because it looks like mad fun. So yeah, NGen is saying that you only use the edging tool on the side edge, not the base edge. And that was always weird to me. I was always trying to figure out how you would use the base edge, but I just get the diamond stone, and like, what can I use I've already put it away, but literally I just get the diamond stone and I like put it like on the base, and then just go like, I use the base as a guide and just try and smooth out the rough parts. It's really easy to see, like, if you just run your, like, lightly your fingers along the base, along your edge, you'll feel like where it's rough and where the burrs are. And if you look close enough and you've been hitting rocks and stuff, you'll actually see them too. Everyone's saying bye to Rob. So if he's gone, good sleep. Have a good sleep. What's going on? Right. What's Adam saying? The wax. That's the wax in trying out next season. He's trying some wax out? Which one? The one that NGen said, or the Swix wax that I have? As Chuck said in the previous chat, he needs speed. Oh, he's trying out racing wax, I think is what he means. NGen's saying to remove the burrs on the base side of your edges, use gummy stone or diamond. Yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I do. I actually use both. Like, I'll use the diamond stone first. So I'll do a run around it with the diamond stone, or a run across the edge with the diamond stone, and then I'll use the gummy stone kind of just to polish, I guess. Maybe I don't need to do that, but that's the way I've always done it. Has everything settled down, Adam? I need to know. What happened to all the spew? Did you have to change your clothing? I'm pretty sure that I would have changed my clothing if I were you. Catman asks, can you use a knife stone to tune your edges? You could, I guess. Like, it's essentially doing the same thing. But a knife stone is kind of like a file. Depends on what kind of knife stone you've got, to be honest. And usually those knife stones are shaped in a weird way. Like they're literally shaped to, because they're rounded most of the time, because you've got to move it up and down the knife. Where with a snowboard edge, I don't think you'd be able to. I don't know. I don't think you'd do as good a job as if you used a diamond stone or an edge filer. And I think Engen is just agreeing with me. He's saying that that you can't really use it. That makes the base dirty. Yeah. That's what I was saying. If you try and use, like, I don't know, and you might even, if you're not using it right, you might even do some damage to your base if you're not careful. So, Catman Man's got the DIY. He's using the sandpaper. He's got the knife grinder out. And Bad Riders has come through with the answer that we all needed. He's saying that the crisis has been averted. He got changed into his backup clothing. He did have backup clothing. Thank you. That's really, really good to hear. Always come prepared. And he still kind of stinks, but didn't get he didn't get to have a shower. It's funny, we started at this live stream talking about beer, and now he's saying he's never drinking again. Well, you just need to know your limits. It's the same with anything in life. With snowboarding, skateboarding, with drinking, with anything that you do, you need to understand and respect the limits of your own body. And obviously that person did not do that. And then, Jen, I think we're back on the tuning. You need that correct edge, that correct angle for a good edge. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and that's what the tool gives you. Like the bonus of using the edging, the filing tool, or the edging tuning tool on your side edge is that it gives you 100% a 90-degree angle, and whereas if you're using your hand, like freehand, like I do, then you might be like slightly this way or that way, and then you're rounding the edge instead of sharpening it, which is the opposite of what you want to do, unless it's your contact points, in which case technically you want to have those kind of rounded a little bit, but not too much. I don't know. I don't do jibs or rails or stuff like that really. So I just sharpen the whole edge the same angle. I don't file. I don't detune my edges. In fact, I even Engen's gonna hate on me for saying this, but I even sharpen my whole edge, like the whole way around, even the nose and tail, past the contact points and everything. The whole thing gets sharpened, just because I don't know. I feel like I want it to be smooth all the way around, and I know that can cause problems for carving, but well, not for carving, but you just need to make sure that you know, that you're precise in your movements. Bad Rider says, you never come to work without a spare shirt. It's a really good policy. As for tuning, how many times a season do you tune your boards, is the question to Wim. I can give you my answer to that. What does Wim say in response? Engen, if you guys ever end up with me, I'm going to give you a board maintenance course. You know what? I'm sure that will happen. We won't have an option. There'll be no choice. You'll sit us down and you'll be like, this is how you tune the boards. And I'll be like, oh, I just do it this way. She'll be right. It's all good. And you'll be like, no, what you're doing is wrong. Uh, near enough is good enough. No hurry, no worry, is what I say. If you and just says as much as needed. Well, that was an answer to, oh yeah, as much as needed. An answer to Adam asking how many times a season does he tune his boards. Captain Man saying he really needs one. Dude, if you're using sandpaper on your snowboard edges, I think that course, that's one that I would be attending for sure. Bad Rider says after a combo with Wim, he always doubles up on wax coats for his boards, especially with the Orca that Chuck's gonna ride with the step-ons. I'm showing resistance to. I know I've kind of been not trash talking, but you know, showing resistance to both step-ons and riding the Orca. And I know that's a jab at me for that, but I've got more of an issue with riding someone else's, like boots that are shaped to someone else's foot, and my feet and your feet are very different sizes, so I can't see unless I buy a set of step-on boots. I can't see us overcoming that problem. So we'll have to deal with that when it comes up. But I'm all for having a go on the Orca. But it will be with a set of traditional bindings and my own boots. That will be the way that it has to go, I'm afraid. Engine says the nose doesn't have to be sharp, just run over it with a gummy stone for the burrs. Yeah, I know it doesn't have to be sharp. I still do it because I have the diamond stone in my hand and I'm going all the way up the board and I'm like, I'll just go the rest of the way around as well. Like, why not? So yes, I know you don't have to, but I just do it anyway. Bad Rider says that he usually tries to do his boards at least once a month when riding 20 plus days. For Go Fast boards, he uses a 4-layer wax. 4 layers? Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah, you're using different waxes and you're layering them. I see. And he follows that up with a Big Lebowski quote, of course. I was waiting. I was surprised it took this long for one to come. Obviously, you're not a golfer. I like that one. Listen, Mr. Bad Riders. Listen, Mr. Size 8. 8.5, by the way. I'm a size 8.5. He'll buy a pair of boots. He's that keen for me to try them. Oh, that's hilarious. Probably Photons, because he wants me to ride something stiffer. He says, "Oof, I hate to ride someone else's boots." Yeah, I think there's something weird about it. I wouldn't feel comfortable. That's why the whole idea of I only rode higher boots once, and that was like I'm not going to do that again. Just the thought of how many other people's feet have been in there is weird to me. Yeah, it's gross. Not saying that Adam's feet would be bad, but it's just it wouldn't matter whose feet it is. It would feel not right to me. So with this waxing question, so for me it depends on how many days I've been riding mostly, and the length of a trip as well. So if I'm going down for, I don't know, on average, I reckon I wax every 2 to 3 days of being on snow, because I find that depending on the snow quality, particularly if it's early season or if it's late season, like if it's the springtime and it's like that really slushy granulated snow, like you could wax every day if you wanted to. But who wants to do that? Waxing's a pain. It's a process and it takes a long time, and it has to be done during like beer drinking time after you've been on the hill. So you want to minimize that as much as possible. But in any case, I would on average after the every third day on snow, I would try to wax. So if I'm going for a week, then I'll wax once. So I'll go 3 days, then wax a board, and then and then go out for the rest of the trip. And usually, if I'm going, sometimes I'll stretch it to like 4 days on snow. But by that last day, like you can tell that you're not gliding. And you really notice it, like in the if you're going across flat sections, or when you're like in the lift line and you're one footing, the base is just way more grippy, and it's just you need to like when you're skating, you need to kick harder and more often. It's just a pain. So not being able to float is not fun, or glide, should I say. But I think you'll stretch a little bit more. You'll get away with it a little bit more if it's like better snow. So if you're in like peak season and it's softer snow, then it doesn't tend to the wax doesn't tend to erode away as quickly, I find. And on average, I will treat my edges between every second wax, if that makes sense. So I'll like if I wax a board every 3 days, I'll do a really light go overing of the edges every kind of 7 or 8 days, or once a week. So of not once a week every week, but a week of riding. That's kind of how I do it. Yeah, Wim will probably say that I'm wrong. And Jen says he buys big blocks of wax because he has a lot of boards. But ideally, actually, on a trip, what I'll do is I'll take multiple boards so I don't have to wax. That's what I did on the last trip. I had my Yes the Y snowboard, and thankfully we had some good conditions for me to test that board in. And I took my Yes Typo as well. Both boards were waxed, so I rode the first couple of days of the trip riding the Yes the Y, and the Yes Typo I rode for the rest of the trip. So I think we were on snow 5 or 6 days. 6 days I think I was on snow for, and so I did 3 days with each board, and that worked out for me. That's a way of getting around it. Just take more boards. Captain Man Snow says he's a size 9. Engen says that he's got even smaller feet. 7.5, 7.5. Wow. I thought my little chompers were like mini. I've got a really like fat, like broad foot though. It's like the guy at the local board store. He's every time he sees my feet, he goes, "Oh, that's a chunky foot." I'm not sure how to take that exactly. It's pretty funny. Bad Rider says he's got 10. Yeah, Swanee's a 10 as well, or a 10.5. I can't remember which. Never use someone's boots; it destroys the fitting. Yeah, exactly. Like if you've got like molded boots, even if they're not heat molded, like if you buy boots and then you wear them over time, when you're wearing them, they will still mold to the shape of your foot. So, and if someone else wears them and heats them up, then it messes with that. And also, I run custom insoles, so there's that. And Jen's dropping a link to One Ball Collections for Bad Riders. Don't know what that is. Maybe look at it. Catman Snow says his first boot was a pair of K2s. Someone else had used before him, and it was super weird. Yep, exactly what we're just talking about. Solid link, says Bad Riders. He's going to order some. Geez, I'm going to have to have a look at that now. Am I? Ooh, snowboard wax. $44. What is that? What country is that from? And you can choose like what. They look really good. Oh, USA. $44 USA. How many do you get? $44? That seems expensive. If that's US dollars, oh my God, that's like, what is it? 60, $70? Looks like good wax though, I guess. Okay. Okay, NGen's saying that he does the same as me. So 3 to 4 days depending on the snow conditions. There you go. There you go, Adam. Small but wide feet. And NGen's the same as me. I actually showed my feet on camera. Captain, so Chuck, you and I have almost the same foot shape. Okay, so so the three of us, Chuck, NGen, and Max, all the same chunky foot. Bad Riders says Aussie Andreas has chunky feet ? Well, I think that question's already been answered. And that's the guy who owned the guy from the snowboard shop is actually who said that is actually the owner of ESS Board Store. So he knows, he's seen a lot of feet. They're the best boot fitters in the country, so they know what's going on in Australia at least. Okay. NGen's responding to my comment on the price of that wax, and he's saying that they're 750 gram blocks. That is a big block. Yeah, okay, that makes sense why it's so big, or why it's so expensive. Hey, Adam says, hey Chuck, you should make me a Max Mods. What? You should make me in Max Mods, seeing as we are part of the A team. Oh, are you saying that you want to be? You saying you want to be a mod? I don't know. You'll have to. Do we have to have an application process? Well, I suppose I didn't do anything for. NGen was the first mod on the channel, and that was I made him a mod because we were fiddling around with live stream protocols for the DWCP channel, which. Well, we could probably try doing a podcast again at some point. But these live streams are just as fun because I get to control all the talking. Normal, NGen saying normal blocks are way smaller, than 750 grams is like, that's a huge chunk. That's massive. So I guess that justifies the cost. And they probably, do they say anything? I'm going to go back to this website. Hot waxing must be clean and dry. Do they have anything about, they've got other products too. I don't know if now's the time to be looking at this because I'm going to get sucked into the rabbit hole, but do they ship dealers and distribution, USA, dealers and international distribution? Do they ship to us distribution worldwide? There's Brian Rashford, Canada, Europe, Australia, New Zealand. Principal distribution, Linton Nair. So apparently they've got a distributor in Australia. This snowboard wax company. So Linton Nair. But I assume that you could just order it through their website. Anyway, you guys probably don't need to see me reading that. NGen says that he does more than 2 years with one block. That's saying something. Although I must admit that the wax, I've got so much, I've got years worth of wax already. So Jose gave me a block in Japan, and I used, I think, most of the last of that the last time I waxed my boards, which was annoying. I waxed two boards, like my main two boards, the ones I used last time, the Yes the Y, which I love, and the Typo. I waxed and scraped them both, like the night before we were going to the trip. That got cancelled because of COVID. So now I've got to like storage wax those boards again. And I found that the chalking method that I saw Tommy Bennett do is way better and puts less wax on the board, which is great because you don't use as much wax, and also you don't have to scrape off as much wax, and it is really good. And I noticed that watching Kevin's packing video when he went to Switzerland, he used that same method of chalking. So in videos on Snowboard Pro Camp previously, he used a different method, waxing. So that should say something. Bad Rise says transcribing voice to text isn't easy, so he must be talking at his phone to make comments. Yo, we need to do a podcast. Yeah, we could do a podcast. And Jen just says lol. I don't know. The last podcast got shut down by Engine when I told the group that I don't care about professional snowboarding and don't really watch it. I do watch it a little bit. I just don't follow it. Like, you know, who's my favorite snowboarder? I don't really have one. I've seen one ball at MSC, Chuck. Is that Melbourne Snowboard Centre? So obviously it's available. I haven't seen it here. I haven't seen it in any shops in New South Wales. We really need a podcast, says Catman. And Engen says he has a whole bag with only wax in it. That's funny. But yeah, you do tend to collect it. Like I said, I've got so much. Like you realize when you get good at waxing your own snowboard and you use just the minimum amount, like one block can last for so long. And even if it's like a standard block of like 200 grams, you can get so much out of that. Like the little block which Max sent to me, which was probably even less than that. It was probably only 100 grams. Like, I don't know how many waxes I got out of that, and I was not using it efficiently. I reckon I waxed at least 10 times out of that tiny little pizza shape. Probably more, actually. So you can get a lot out of it. And I won't need to order any or buy any wax for ages. And I haven't even opened the wax that Board Through the Pain sent me, that booby wax. So I want to try that too, but that'll have to all wait till next year. Engen says, no, I've already read that one. Everyone is my favourite snowboarder, says Catman Snow. Engen sent me another link. I'll open it. For those of you who can open that link, you'll know why I'm laughing. That's a good one. All right. Bad Rider says that he's his own favourite snowboarder. Okay. Where are we at? The perfect wax for Chuck, says Catman. Yeah, the dude wax. The Big Lebowski. All right. It's been a rough night for Bad Riders. I'm pretty sure he hates the fucking Eagles. So we're going to start the process of maybe shutting this down. But not just yet. Before that, I want to talk briefly about tomorrow. I'm going to have another live stream, I think. It's going to be at an American-friendly time. So, to be honest, it'll probably be whenever I wake up. I'm going to be... I've been going so well with my videos, and I'm so excited about that. In the last, I think, 3 weeks, I've uploaded a video like every week, which is insane for me. That has never happened in the history of my channel at all, I don't think. If I remember, I don't have an official historian, but this week's going to be no different. So I'm going to be uploading a video. It's the weekend, so it's Saturday. So next week I'm going to upload one. I don't know what day. I think Thursday is becoming a good day. I want to premiere it, but I did a premiere on Thursday night at 10 p.m. Australian time, and it was just me and Bad Riders hanging out. So I'm thinking that's probably not the time. I had a couple of people join when I did a premiere at like 7:30 in the morning, which is, I think it's like the middle of the day in America, but it's also like in the middle of the night for Europe. So it's kind of hard to get a good time to release where I'm able to get on a premiere. But in any case, of this video that's coming this week is probably my favorite one and my favorite edit that I've ever made. So I'm really stoked with how it's come out and how it's coming together. But the only problem is that I was there's so much I did not want to cut out of it. It ended up being like a 20-minute video. So 20 minutes is too long. No one's going to watch that, even though my flight to Japan, or my traveling to Japan video was 20 minutes long. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it into 2 parts. So I'm going to, I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to release this video in like drop one video one day, part 1, and then the next day drop part 2, or leave part 2 until the following week. But that will depend on, to be honest, what I decide tomorrow. But I may very well, actually it'll be depending if I can get another video ready for the following week. So I want to keep this week at least 1 video a week stream going. I've got that one wheel video I did the other day, so I could. I want to do the one wheel unboxing video. What happened? Endgen said something about a one wheel. That's piqued my interest. Let's go jump on the live tomorrow as well, says Catman. I don't know what time it's going to be. So you'll have to it'll probably be around 10 a.m. actually. That's Australian time. So I've got no idea of how to figure out what time that would be in your time zone, because all the devices I use to do that are occupied at the moment. But in any case, I'm going to release this video in 2 parts. I'm really excited about how it's come out. It's my favorite one that I've done so far. It's actually going to have some snowboarding in it, so I'm excited about that, and I hope you guys are too. Catman says that he wants to watch the 20-minute video. Well, it's going to be, it's essentially one video. There's one part that's like directly in the middle, about the 10-minute part, where there's where there's a clear cut that when the song changes and it goes to a different scene. So I'm just making it into two. So whether it's a 20-minute video or whether it's two 10-minute videos, doesn't matter. But you'll probably get them in consecutive days. So I'll get it follows basically our first day on snow from the last trip. So us getting up to the mountain, doing a few runs, and then me doing a little bit of a breakdown at the day. A breakdown of the day at the end, and also I kind of put my thoughts towards some new gear that I tried. So there's this Burton jacket, which you've probably seen in a couple of other videos. That there's the Why snowboard, which I rode that day. There was a face mask from Board Through the Pain. And Jen saying you can't wait for the edit. I'm really excited about it. It's not like, the snowboarding in it isn't super high level. I'm not a great snowboarder, but it's classic Chuck selfie stick, doing slow motion on every little ollie. Anyway, I'm not going to say any more about it because I want to hype it a little bit. Catman says, I don't know what time that is in Sweden, but I'm going to be there. Yeah, so if you look up around about, I reckon it'll be around about either 10 or 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Yeah, Sunday, the 11th of September, 10 or 11 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's when that live stream is going to happen. Around that. Adam says a chuckathon. Maybe one day. Are you talking about like a really long live stream? Because I feel like every one of my live streams is a really long one. Because it's funny when I first got on doing a live stream, like, how am I going to talk and hold people's attention for an hour or 20 minutes, yet alone an hour? Yet here we are, and we're coming up on 2 hours right now of this live stream. And NGen is saying some really nice words, saying Chuck snowboarding is just fun. We don't need another pro video. Yeah, and my videos are not trying to be pro. In fact, if my channel, in terms of my snowboarding, has any goal, it's to really highlight the fact that it doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter what skill level you are. Snowboarding is fun, and you don't need to be sending big airs and doing mad tricks for snowboarding to not only be fun for the person doing it, but it can look fun as well. So there's a really good vibe about this day. Me, Swanee, and Phil were together. We did a couple of family laps. It was a good day. It was snowing that day. The snow conditions were really good. It was annoying because a lot of the lifts went on windhold, and the part of the day that I didn't film that you couldn't see was I actually gave my buddy Phil a masterclass on riding the T-bar with mixed results. He was able to. We spent 2 hours trying to get him to up the T-bar, and because all of the lifts that we wanted to go up to get to the zone that we wanted to be at were all closed. So on the front valley, on the bunny hill at Perisher, there's a T-bar, and me and Phil just went on it over and over and over again. We doubled. He went on with me, and we were able to get him to the top 2 or 3 times with me when we were doubled, and that was with me steering and making sure he didn't fall off. But on his own, he couldn't get it. So we need to go back to that at some point. I'll do another. I've got a whole run of Phil, actually. Just there's a video coming on the channel, which is going to be all Phil floating leaf, just Phil heels like side slipping down, actually one of the not steepest runs, but it's a fairly steep run at Blue Cow. So Batterai says, nah, a long or multi-video drop. That live stream last Saturday night was epic. You outdid Kevin's last stream. I don't know about that, man, but I appreciate the compliment. He's saying it's 12 a.m. in Sweden, so that means that so the earlier I do it, the better for you, I imagine. Send Phil to me, I'll teach him, says Engen. Yeah. Phil's an interesting character. Not much for the listening. So I thought that I was one of the most uncoordinated people that I knew until I met Phil. And I still am one of the most uncoordinated people that I know. T-bar is hard for some. It is. Like, it was hard for me. I really sucked at it when I first tried it. And what I did was, some of you have probably heard me tell this story before, but literally I went to the T-bar, or the closest T-bar to me at the time. It's one at Threadbow called, it's not Sponners. There's two T-bars right near each other, and I can't remember the name of it. But there's this T-bar at Threadbow. It has a pretty steep start, and I went on the T-bar, and I fell off the T-bar. And then I rode down to the bottom of the T-bar, and I got on the T-bar. And then I fell off the T-bar. Then I went around again, and I just kept going. I never gave up. I spent like an hour on that thing until I made it with some guy halfway up. And he was like, "Oh man, I'm ditching because I'm gonna," like, he got off the T-bar halfway to go down this other run. And as soon as this guy got off, then I fell off. Then I went down to the bottom again. I had another couple goes and I just kept doing it until I got it. It's literally, I just kept doing it. That's how I learned how to T-bar. In fact, when I learned how to T-bar properly was when I figured out how to 1 foot properly. Or how to, well, I don't know if I do it properly, but, it's when 1 footing became, like skating became easier for me, when I realized that I could use my weight to, and the inflections of my feet, even when my back foot wasn't strapped in to control the board, that was when I realized that's when T-bars became easier, because I understood how the board moved underneath me. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys, but that's kind of how it clicked for me. Engen says that it's easy, you just do nothing. Well, you're not wrong, you know, but it's very intimidating for learners, because in fact that's where they go wrong, is they stop doing nothing. They're doing stuff, you know, they're turning, they're opening. The biggest problem, and what Phil was doing, was opening up his shoulders, which when he was doing that, his lower body was following his upper body, and he's trying to do this, and then the board is like going sideways, and then he catches an edge and he's done. So you just need to learn how to stand and balance and let the thing pull you, and not sit down and not tweak it. The other thing too is that sometimes, like, the terrain will, like, you know, I don't know what the T-bars are like, but some of the ones in Australia, they're not quite like level ground. So sometimes, and when they get a lot of use too, there's this one T-bar at Perisher that feeds one of the parks, one of the more popular parks, and it gets so rutted out by the end of the day that I know Swanee still has trouble with it, because there's these big, like, scoopy ruts that your board just travels into. Now, when I ride, I think that's fun. You just kind of like use your weight, and you like roll into the, I'm not really explaining that very well, but you kind of just like, you go with the motion of the ocean. You know, you flow with the way it wants to take you, and you're fine. But people try and fight against it, and they fall because they'll catch an edge, because they're not, their feet and the weight on the board is not moving with the flow of the rut. And when you go against it, you're gonna eat it. That's what. Yep, Engen's comment right there. You don't fight the terrain. That's what I'm trying to say. If you just go with it, then you're golden. There's no problems. Wim will have Phil. What's going on here? Bad Ride says Wim will be will be doing blacks and broken bindings in no time with Phil. Yeah. Broken bindings. Yeah, it's not. I imagine it wouldn't be fun trying to get a student down, a beginner or someone who's with a broken binding. I've had a broken heel strap once, and that wasn't fun. But I guess it's the same as if you're good at one footing, you just go slow and you'll be fine. Depending on what kind of slope you're on, I guess. Catman Man says it's the same in Sweden. I assume he's talking about something that I said. Just keep your shoulder parallel with your board. Yep. Don't fight the terrain. When I figure out, so Catman, when I figure out it was super easy to ride the T-bar. Yeah. It's exactly what those two things that Engen said boil everything I took 5 minutes to say down into the simplest. And that's it. Keep your shoulders parallel. Don't fight the terrain. Easiest thing. All right. So I've been going now for an hour and 6 minutes-ish and change. Maybe an hour and 10 minutes. Engen says Phil will be doing blacks after 1 week with me. Probably. Phil's all right. He's at the level where he can kind of turn toe and heel side, and he's not good at steep terrain, but he doesn't really go very fast, and he's kind of still exploring his edges. He's at the end of the beginner progression, so he can kind of do slow linked turns. But most of what he's doing is like going straight, like flat, and then he'll do a skidded turn onto his heels, and then he'll like point the nose down the hill again, and then like go straight down, and then do a skidded turn onto his toes, and then he's kind of doing it like that. It's not a proper link turn. And Jen, Phil will be doing, yeah, I've already read that one. He'll shit his pants, but he'll get down in one piece. Bad Rise says that he needs to go riding with Wim and barbecue with him, and that's proper barbecuing. That is the comment that we're going to end the stream with, because I couldn't agree more. I think everyone needs to go riding with Wim and have a barbecue at Wim's place. And I'm pretty sure that that's something that when the world gets back to some kind of normality, that is something we're going to all try and do together, I hope. I definitely, I'm almost saving for my Euro trip. And I'll say that because I've got a few other bills and stuff I need to take care of. But that's not something I'm going to talk about on the live stream. What I will say is thank you, all of you, for sticking through with me for this 2-hour slog of a live stream. Catman Man Snow has been here from the start, and he also became, I believe, my third moderator tonight. So congratulations to Catman Man. Also, we had a bunch of people join us before. Bad Riders has been in and out. Engen's been here for a good chunk of time. We had Adam Searles earlier. We had I don't have the list to go back through. Robert Fowler and Robert Fowler's girlfriend were here before. We had some Pippy Poppy person that had jelly beans to start with in the chat. We had Kerry Pierce for a few minutes. Am I missing anyone? Engen, of course. Oh, yeah, we had Lindsay, the windsurfer guy. LH Coolbreeze, who was in the chat for a little while too. Absolute legend. Nice guy. And Adam saying he got thrown up on during his stream. Yeah, Adam got thrown up on. We don't need to go into the details on that. But anyway, for everyone who came, thanks for coming. I'll do another stream tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see some of the American peeps on there. Adam, I hope that you have the day off, or that you're not sleeping, or whatever is going on with you. Hopefully I'll see you then, if not on other chats. And Catman says, let's hook up when you guys are here. So I know you guys are probably going to have a trip to Sweden before me and Adam get the chance to. But in any case, I'll have to love yous all, leave yous all. I don't know why I saluted just now. And I'll see some of you maybe tomorrow, if not in a couple of weeks. On Thursday, I feel like I'll be dropping my next video. Thanks for coming. Be excellent to each other. And I'll see yous on the flip side.